Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we're gonna do a yellow coin LR tier list update. In truth, I probably should have done one of these a couple weeks ago when EZA Goku Black came out. He was strong enough and worthy enough to make this list. I was gonna say, could you make a case at LR Rose, maybe even like as a potential top 10 overall LR? Maybe, I mean, he could compete for, like, the 10 spot, like, in the 10 range. It's tough to become, like, a top 10 LR, and it's, you know, you gotta, Rose is good, but you gotta be, like, next level to be, like, a top 10 LR right now. Alright, now let's jump in. Now, on the subject of LR Rose, just a quick thing. You guys are going to see that this list is almost entirely comprised of EZA characters. EZAs are probably, I mean, I might look into making this a video to really determine for sure. My gut feeling is that this is the best year ever in terms of EZAs. I feel like if I said that, a lot of people will go, oh my god, no, no, Jiren is so bad, and NTR Goku Black is so bad. But, like, you go through it, so many characters this year, their EZAs were actually really good. A lot of LRs had insane EZAs. Look at the 5th anniversary fusions. I mean, they're like the #1 ones to point to, right? Characters like Future Gohan, AGL Zamasu. We have had unbelievable EZAs right this year. So while there's a few stinkers, I mean, dude, that's like, it's everything in Dokkan. Like, yeah, you know, occasionally we get some good band units, and then there's some stinkers, right? Any type of character, content, quality of life update, anything in Dokkan. Like, yeah, we get some bangers and some, you know, some stinkers as well. So, all right, let's just jump in. A lot of this list is probably not as strong as I would like, but we'll start here at number 10. Int Fusion Zamasu. Right here. Now, Fusion Zamasu, he's got some stuff. He does have some moderate levels of damage reduction. He can do int orb changing. I've found that depending upon the situation, he can struggle for ki. It's very difficult to run him. I mean, we could run him on, say, the, whatchamacallit team. The Tech Fusion Zamasu team, but certainly it's a problem that he does not link up with Tech Fusion Zamasu. So it's like you just, a team can be very, like, bogged down by having 3 of the same named character on the team. It could lead to huge issues, and that's pretty much the only spot where you would potentially run this guy. This guy just ended up getting completely shafted in the history of Dokkan. This is one of those characters that just really never got, a chance to utilize his full potential. And, I mean, don't even get me started on the weirdness of his kit, which was never realized, right? Like, this extra damage reduction in the turn as he's hit. This 1 ki every time he gets hit 5 times. So they're like, yeah, just simply get hit 25 times with 1 character. Like, it's absurd, right? Like, it's like, we never really got a chance to see what this guy could be like. It's unfortunate. I do think a same name linking update is possible in the future. Do I want to say likely? I think it's likely. And, you know, that would help this guy potentially. If it came soon, this guy could go up the list, I think, quite a bit. I mean, he's certainly got limitations no matter what, but, I mean, if he was a perfect linking partner with Tech Fusion Zamasu, this guy would be a very nice run on that team. Next we have Baby. Baby's another one of these EZA characters. Baby just has some tools that could be very helpful, right? Like, he's got dodge in here. He, of course, has a very powerful Great Ape transformation right here, which just really can be very good. No turn restriction on it or anything like that means Baby can really have value, say, against, like, Fusion Zamasu and a lot of the Dismal Future Red Zone, right? I like Baby's EZA. Baby, to me, is a good EZA. We've had many of these this year. This guy, to me, I've used him in quite a lot of content. And again, while they certainly could have made him a little bit stronger, he's a good level of power. For the most part, the problem with Baby is probably more so being a Big Bad Boss's character. It's just like the link is so strong and so powerful. And certainly Dokkan has these characters balanced around that link. And it's just like, you know, you want to bring more Big Bad Boss's characters, and Big Bad Boss's characters for the most part, besides like AGL Zamasu, Int LR Goku Black, and Tech LR Fusion Zamasu, aside from those 3, Big Bad Bosses is in a little bit of a wonky spot right now, but I felt like this Baby was good enough to merit inclusion on this list for sure. I don't know that I really have too much else to say about him, But one thing you guys are going to find out is that these giant transformations, I mean, a character having this is, like, it just makes them so much more valuable. Like, when you could take away these bosses' AoEs and their heals and their triple supering and huge defensive debuffing and all the nonsense that they come with, like, it's just really, really strong. Next, we have this Int LR Spirit Bomb Goku. I mean, I try my best to make, like, a concise, fair list, even though this is probably my most hated character ever, probably. Yeah. I mean, maybe I've been louder about Super Trunks, but this guy is, like, Super Trunks has the potential in him, right? You transform him to Super Trunks and he is God. That's why he is just so frustrating, because it's like, I mean, he can just win a fight by himself, but, like, it's very tough to do a lot of times. This guy just has nothing. He's just, like, super, like, it's below mid, because he's summonable LR, right? Like, it's, I don't know, he just sucks. Because this guy's an LR from last year. This guy's an EZA from this year. This is a goddamn summonable LR from this year. And he just does, he has nothing, he does nothing special. He doesn't have crits, super effective against all types. He doesn't have, you know, additional attacks. He doesn't have guard. He doesn't have damage reduction. He doesn't have dodge. He does nothing. He doesn't support. He doesn't have a scouter. Like, he doesn't have a giant transformation. He has nothing. It's an AoE, which is worthless. It's not 2015 anymore, where the content was quest mode and AoEs were valuable, right? Like, this guy is just simply a loser. But while all that is true, he can still put up at least, like, he'll put up like a 17 million attack set, which by itself is not as impressive as people would think it is. Because again, these no additionals, no crits, no super effective against all types, right? Which really limits his damage compared to what people think his damage is when they see his attack set. And then also his defense, I mean, he can get right up to around that 1 million defense level, right? Which typically he's usually able to hang strong in front of a lot of normal attacks, which I guess, I mean, we could say has some value. I mean, this one future red zone fights, it is tough to take double digits even from normal attacks, right? Next we have EZA, Beerus, and Whis. Now I was making this list. This might go up before. I was making this list, and I was like, Beerus and Whis, I feel like have got to be on there. So I, while making this list, decided, okay, I'll just record a video. We'll take them into Fusion Zamasu. And what I saw was very good. EZA Physical Beerus being as strong as he is, which again is, he's another very good EZA Dokkan has given us this year. Again, I want to make a tweet. I might do this just to see what people say. EZAs in 2023 have been incredible, right? And I want to see how people just lose their shit over it without even putting 2 seconds of thought into it. Again, that Int Goku Black is just rent-free in everyone's mind, man. This guy, or these guys are really good. EZA Physical Beerus is really good. Like, this as a rotation works against Fusion Zamasu, the hardest fight in the game. It does. Physical Beerus plus this unit. Like, they really perform well against Fusion Zamasu. I mean, that means something. Like, that matters. Because remember, that cheap bastard will drop that AoE right away, and he'll do a good, 300k damage to this character. But then, what happens after that? You're going to activate their ability. So, you're going to get the 70% stats and the high chance to dodge, which lasts for 7 turns. So, on any turns after that, of course, you could dodge right away. Then they proc their guaranteed additional super, and then you heal 15% plus 10%. So it's like, while they do take a lot of damage that first turn, you're quickly healing all of it back up between those, and then you're going to have the Connoisseur link with, like, Physical Beerus. Like, it works quite well. This is probably a much better character than people realize how good they are. So I like them quite a bit. EZA Int God Goku. This guy can put in some work. It's very, very simple. Right now, the best characters, literally the best tanking characters in the game, besides, like, Golden Frieza and Fusion Zamasu turn 1, like, the best characters in the game, it's like you eat, like, 300k from the boss, and you're like, yeah, damn, dude, that was nice. Well done, Bulma, for the 350 you just took, right? Like, that's literally how it is. So, characters like this guy, where he just has a high chance to dodge, is very good. That's... like, Yamcha has skyrocketed up in terms of usefulness, and so is this guy. Because right now, the bosses are just way stronger than our characters, and you can't really just sit there and eat all these boss attacks, right? It doesn't really work that way. Like, the bosses are hitting too hard. So a character like God Goku with his dodge and stuff like that, he can be effective. I mean, really, you know, he could do some nice damage, and he's got some other abilities, but I mean, it's just the 50% chance to dodge right away, along with being just like a generally strong character, is enough to get him represented, at least highly on this list. All right, next, LRS Super Buu. LRS Super Buu is an interesting character. He's got some good stuff in here, but it's just like, he's just not strong enough. I don't know how to word it. Like, he just is not, he just isn't strong enough. Like, if we take a look at it, is this right here. This is something you guys might have heard me complain a lot about. Having to take hits to tank is horrible. It's so bad. It's just very frustrating to deal with. Right, STR Super 17 has the same problem, where that shit is okay, like, when we're talking about, like, the previous wave of content, but now, it's like, you know, Super 17 comes out, and he's gonna get one-shotted through his little rinky-dink defense and his, you know, moderate level of damage reduction, and then Super Buu, it's like the same, like, these characters, like, they are just gonna get blown away. Like, you're dead before they have a chance to build up like that. It just doesn't work. He has a ridiculously powerful active skill. This is one of the best active skills in the game. Right? He's getting the, you know, attack buff, 40% HP regen, any attack breaks the enemy. This would have been a different character, in my opinion, if you remove this. If it was just when HP is 60% or less, this is a completely different character, I think. Because it's all of a sudden, you just have this 40% HP regen on command with the attack break. That shit would be so good. But they threw this 5th turn on there. That sucks. It really limits you. You will almost never see this in, like, the Dismal Future Red Zone. I mean, you can on, like, you know, turn 5, right as you're wrapping the fight up. I guess, to be fair, if you're running this guy in, like, villain teams, you're probably not going to be as fast as some of these big, like, you know, Power Wishes teams or something like that. But, I mean, this guy, again, it's an AoE character. Like, every time Dokkan releases an AoE character, they are, like, very weird. And this guy counts as very weird. He has guaranteed guard against Fusion Zamasu. I used him several times against Fusion Zamasu. I don't think I gave him a video, though, did I? I probably should have done that as well. Maybe I should have recorded. I mean, I don't think I would move this character from where he is anyway. I feel comfortable with this spot. But yeah, he just wasn't made strong enough. Many characters this year are just simply are not strong enough, right? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Next is LR Ribrienne right here. Now, LR Ribby, they've got, well, let me not disrespect the GOATs, Kakunsa and Rosie as well. There's some stuff here. The problem, though, is tournament participants sucks right now. It does. I mean, I know, you know, you do have a couple of strong characters, and people will instantly think, oh, what about 23rd World Tournament Goku? He's great. Yeah, he is. If you have another character that can revive, which you don't have on that team. And, you know, Junior is really strong. But, like, you're running a team led by the Dokkan Fest androids who need Goku characters, and it just tanks the team. The fact that you need a Goku for their unit super attack, it just makes them unfun. It makes the team unfun. It's just brutal. And that team being dead hurts this character as well. Because it's a turn-up power character. They need to be run with the Universal Survival Saga character for this additional, which is a huge factor in how good they could be. But, oh, guess what? Every single Universal Survival Saga character is mid. Right? Like, I'm not missing someone. Let's just quickly double-check. Yeah, I mean, every single Universal Survival Saga character is mid. So, like, that hurts. Like, this guy wasn't, like, they suck. Like, I like 17 when he's next to 17-18, but 17-18 themselves are undertuned. So it's just, you're just running a weak team, and it drags them down. I was able to put in quite a bit of work with them. Again, remember, they do have their very powerful giant transformation, which one thing that makes Ribrienne really interesting, and Rose and Kakunsa here, is that you can pop this. There is no turn restriction on this if you have a Power Wishes category ally in the turn. So, you know, again, Fusion Zamasu or maybe, you know, against Omega. I did the Omega video. I had a ton of trouble using them against Omega. Fusion, Zamasu, maybe I just got lucky, but we had a far easier time. You know, you can get that giant transformation. Ribby does pretty good damage in her giant transformation. She's creating a lot of orbs. She's got a high chance to crit. And then, oh, by the way, she cancels boss abilities, right? Which is very strong. I like Ribrianne, but this is a character, they have a little bit of potential. Like, they could be quite a bit better if Universal Survival Saga or Tournament Participants was, like, real teams. Like, they could be better. But, like, right now, like, I know it sounds ridiculous considering they are, you know, we just got a Dokkan Fest for their team, but they don't really have a team because this team sucks. So that kind of hurts them quite a bit. They easily could have been made a lot better. I mean, if they, like, so we have this crit and damage reduction right here. I mean, if you swap these two abilities, literally just swap the two. Swap the crit and the damage reduction right there, and this character changes quite a bit, and things get quite a bit better, man. Quite a bit better, quite a bit better. I like them, I think, more than I thought after using them. But I would also say, as like a new summonable LR that came out literally it feels like it's been 100 years ago since they came out already. But yeah, 2 days ago. And they're just not good enough for me. I'm sorry. But they're still strong. Next we have Int EZA LR Goku Black. I like him, man. I do. He's just very like easy to use and consistent, I found. Like he does what he does without a million levels of variance, which many characters in the game these days, I mean, you are gambling. You're just pulling down that casino lever, and, you know, maybe this character will guard, or maybe this character will do 3 supers, or maybe this character will do 1 normal attack and then 3 additionals, or maybe this character who sucks, who we literally have to rely on them having a dodge build to have any chance. Oh, they didn't dodge, we're dead. Oh, they did dodge, all right, we're alive. Like, nearly every character's like that. This guy feels to me like you're pretty much getting a consistent level from him. You know what to expect. I do like that. I mean, he could pretty easily shoot out, you know, a 17 million into a 10. This is really nice right here. Just none of this bullshit with, like, normals. We don't have to worry about a 50% chance, 70% chance, none of that. You just all you have to do is you get to 19 key because he gets this right here. So like, this combo ability right here, this is nice. You just get to 19 key and you know you're supering twice, which is really good. Sure, he does have the shitty final blow mechanic, which you're never going to be able to take advantage of. But, I mean, he doesn't need it. They didn't really tie too much to it, right? I like this guy. He does also have a rage transformation as well. His is a little bit harder to get because it does have to be turn 6. And his is only a 1-turn transformation, which, depending upon the boss you fight and the RNG, what happens, if the boss doesn't super during the giant transformation or doesn't use all their AoEs or something like that, you could still eat the effects. Like, if I fought Omega, I think it was in the Ribrianne video, Omega on the first turn only did 1 AoE, and then this next turn he did the other 2 AoEs he could against kind of like the giant form. So it's like, if that had been Rosé's giant form, we'd have canceled 1 AoE, we'd have left Rosé's scythe mode, and then Omega would have still had 2 AoEs left. So a 1-turn giant transformation is certainly better than nothing, but it's not the same thing as what Ribrianne has. When you have these 2-turn giant things, like, you know you're pretty much killing all the boss abilities. A 1-turn is not a 100% guarantee that you kill all the boss abilities, unfortunately. But, I mean, this guy's good. Again, just a general nice level of power. Now, next, I mean, I have to kiss the ring, man. I'm sorry. Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza's too good. Like, the way they took the content, the Dismal Future Red Zone, they said, okay, what if, Cell Max was turn 1 instead, right? It's basically what they decided to do with a lot of these. So, I mean, when that becomes a thing, what do we do? Well, a character that has 90% damage reduction turn 1 would be pretty good. So, I mean, this guy did not sneak up on us. We knew when we saw his details, oh my god, he's good forever. Like, this, he will be good he'll be usable forever with this. It's really strong, right? Like, it's, like, there's Super Battle Royale fights, he's always going to be good. Now, obviously, as, the turns go by, his damage reduction is quickly ticking down, but he is always going to be dominant turn 1, and there's pretty much without fail. Right now, I mean, he's today, he's still probably one of the better turn 1 characters in the game. Because it's just how hard these newer bosses are hitting. He's great. I like the LR Golden Frieza. He could struggle a little bit more if the fight is really long, but again, these Dismal Future Red Zone fights, they're typically going, turn 5, turn 6, maybe turn 7 at the latest. You're done. So, I mean, Golden Frieza, I have to respect him right there. And then we don't have to spend a lot of time Bulma. I mean, that's, I still see some Bulma down players, but I mean, people know. You guys know. When you introduce this character into the mix, and not only is she Rainbow Orb changing, but then you're throwing out this for 2 turns, it's just, this is actually like one of the strongest things we've seen. It's just so busted. All these characters that struggle for ki or have issues, you just run Bulma and things change completely. Now, Bulma can get touched. She could take a lot of damage because these bosses are just so ludicrous, right? Even though she is guarding, she has guard and damage reduction, and, she'll take 350 from these bosses and shit, like after supering and stuff. Like, that's just how ludicrous these bosses, it's crazy. It's actually crazy how strong these bosses are. But Bulma's just, like, this is exactly the type of character we would want. Like, we are literally on our knees praying for a villain version of this completely. Like, if we got a true big bad bosses villain version of this Bulma, it would just do wonders for villain characters, man. It would change the game for them quite a bit. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. I was actually struggling a little bit with how I wanted to proceed with this one. I settled on this. I was wondering, like, should I, like, LR Goku, I was really thinking of putting him in S+, but, I mean, again, he has no special abilities. I mean, Beerus and Whis, I mean, yeah, they could take damage from the cheap-ass AoE, but then all of a sudden their dodge kicks in, and then they're healing like crazy, right? And then, again, they're dodging, they have a medium chance to crit, right? Beerus and Whis are doing all these things as an easy of a character that came out, like, remember, they came out 5 years ago. Look at this. April of 2018, right? They're closing in on 6 years old. And it's like they got crits, they got dodge, they're healing all over the place. And then this piece of shit has just got nothing. He just has raw stats, and that is it. So it's like, it really, I wanted to put Goku up there. Again, as much as I hate him, I really try my best to be fair here. I take these lists very seriously. Like, I want these to turn out good. I want them to withhold criticism. Because remember, no 2 people are going to have, like, a same tier list. Like, that's not going to happen. Nobody, right? Like, everyone's going to have different experiences with the characters, different thoughts with the characters. I really try and take these very serious, again, to where, like, I'm okay with, the quotes of, oh my god, you're so stupid, and stuff like that. Like, and this I do feel pretty good about. Again, I didn't want to be too harsh in LR Goku, despite the fact that I hate him so much. I feel like that is kind of a good spot for him. Bulma is just very clearly, Bulma is in the inner circle right now, which I think is 4 characters. Bulma, Orange Piccolo, GT Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and who's the 4th one? Future Gohan. That's like the inner circle of the game right now. Right? They're a step ahead. It's like Bulma, her effect, like those 4 characters, if you could run them, you run them. It's just as simple. They're the strongest that we've got. So it is nice that they gave us a Yellow Queen LR. I mean, I would have ranked her as the best unit in the game up until I think the Dismal Future Red Zone came out, and especially Fusion Zamasu is just so tough that I actually feel like it's like now that the Dismal Future Red Zone is here, I feel like Orange Piccolo's value has climbed a little bit to me. I probably wouldn't rank Bulma, again, #1 overall in the game. I would probably have her 2. And I think Orange Piccolo would be 1. I'd probably go Piccolo 1, Bulma 2, Future Gohan 3, and then GT Goku Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I think, at 4 is probably what I would do. So, yep, let me know what you guys think. Let's take a look. So, I believe this is the last Yellow Coin LR tier list I did. Let's take a look here. So, a lot of these same characters. Janemba, it just doesn't work. I mean, he now just can't. Janemba's a defensive character, right? You run him so he can tank, but no longer is he able to tank, so now he's kind of like worthless. I mean, you could try and get away with him against Fusion Zamasu. Fusion Zamasu is a Ki Blast boss. Janemba does have a Ki Blast nullification, but remember, Janemba has to go in slot 2 or 3 to guard, which can bog the team down, and these big bad bosses teams suck anyway. Janemba just, is hurt by the difficulty raise and content. Kale and Khalifa are ass. you know, on turn 50, they're good. It's just like, you do not have time. Like, what do you run in Kale? Kale gets obliterated early on, too, now. It's just a nightmare. Kale and Caulifla, I mean, they needed a lot more. I mean, if they were guarding at least for the first couple of turns, maybe things could have been helped out a little bit with them. But Kale and Caulifla, you run them and you die. So, like, they're not on here. And Goku Black and Zamasu, they're you know, weak as well. Another character, yeah, they're guarding right away. Doesn't matter. They're still going to take 1 billion damage. They're a character that needs to get hit to defend, which just doesn't work against these new bosses. So, there we go. Yep, I feel pretty confident about this. We'll go with this. Yep, thank you. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.